just in case. Okay. Yeah, so at this point I'm where am I? Oh yes, so at this point I'm moving from a previous project where I had that I was working on. Let me just move this away. Yeah, so I was working on something else, and at this point I'm just moving stuff to 847.2, and that's pretty much what is happening with Reddit. And I'm pretty much just moving things around, and because on the previous project I was using Reactive Swift and just standard UI kit, but now I'm going to use SwiftUI and combine. So I'm just moving stuff around and pretty much just changing the way the project is architected, in the sense that I'm taking advantage of what the guys at Kickstarter are doing, especially around the environment. I find it very interesting, and sort of I think it's quite a pragmatic decision to go this way. Yeah, so that's where I am right now. So I'm moving a couple of things, as you can see. Where is it? On app environment, there are a couple of things I'm moving around just to see how it feels. I'm using the stack approach here. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do this. There's also the thing that they're using, which is something around this. I'm not even sure how I feel about this, to be honest. It feels a bit odd to have something like this at the global level. So both log in and log out at that point, it just feels odd. What else? What else is missing here? That's fine. So the login. Okay, so pretty much what's happening is this is pretty much stateful, as in there is no output here. So what I'm assuming that is happening is when this gets called, you pretty much have to read again the current state, which should be a var. Yep. So what I'm assuming is happening is once the login is done, then it's just pretty much replacing the environment with a new user, and then I'm assuming that at that point you have to read current again, which is fine. I just find it slightly odd based on what I've previously been doing. What's happening with Reddit? Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the thing I was working on today, let me just see if there's something to push. No, this is fine. Okay. So today what I wanted to work on is this particular bit here. So the idea here with Strava URL code and this pass-through subject is how auth works, and you pretty much what are you doing from the app point of view is you open a web view, you put your credentials, and then the app, the web view itself will try to open your app with a particular link, and then you with this just extracting it and then using this code that then you can send to the Strava URL API, the Strava API. You then get an actually token that you can use throughout your app, and this is where I am right now. So as you can see, this Strava URL code sits here on the top, which was fine in the previous project, but now because we're going with app environment, it's going to be sitting here at the top level, and I guess this is fine because ultimately I can just remove this. No, sorry. Move this. Now this will complain, and I can say, for example, app environment dot current dot where's the Strava URL code dot send, and I put some code, and that's it. This works fine. And on the other hand, the main view model, which is the actual thing that is observing, well, not the main view model, the session view model that is observing these things, is actually able to use this. So this is where we are right now. So this is compiling. Where was I? So it's in the routing. So as you can see here, you're passing the right reference at this point, which is fine as well. You see, the problem I have with this, the current approach used at Kickstarter, is that you have to be very careful on how you do things and making sure that this thing is the same throughout your application, because if I create a different pass-through subject and the app environment, sorry, the team delegate is actually pointing to a specific one, but then I replace it and I'm using something else. So what they're doing to avoid that sort of situation is, where is it? They keep using the same, I think. So as you can see, most of these is actually things that you can easily get again. Like they're not creating all these different entities. So they're always the same. So for example, where is it? The cookie storage shared. Although you are within the realms of a struct, you're still referencing something that stays there forever, or your application shares. It's there throughout the app. So maybe my inclination here is to be a bit safer. Although I'm the only person touching this, it would be to on the app environment, I would actually feel a bit more safe that instead of recreating a new one, I would actually use always the same one, right? So here you'd have a private let, you'd have a Strava URL code, you go here, sorry, you go here, and then you actually use this. I feel slightly will it work? Yep. So I actually feel a bit safer with this approach, because then you are sure that you're always going to use the same one, and that sort of guarantees that that we're not creating something different that can be replaced, and then a part of your app is looking at the particular signal and it's expecting something to come out of that, but actually the other part of your app is sending events to something else completely different. So this, I feel slightly better about this, although again, having something like environment with all these dependencies at the global level is still something that is a bit weird for me. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. Okay, so I haven't touched on this app for a while, so I don't even remember how this thing works, honestly. So I'm looking at the previous code base that I had that is slightly different. Again, it's using Reactive Swift. It's not using environment. It's using, well, actually it's not even using UI. Well, it is using UIKit, but at a very basic level. So where is it? So the session view model gets here. It goes through the loops. So the first loop is to check the credentials. Check the credentials. Okay, in this case it's not doing anything, which is this is, I don't think this is fine actually. No, this is fine. This is fine. So this is the check to make sure that this loop only goes through if we are checking credentials. So if you're not checking credentials, then it will just bail out. It won't do anything, which is what we want. And then authentication step 0. But what does this do? Yeah. Okay. So then, okay. So this is the one we want, right? We're observing the Strava URL code, and when a code comes, then it will kick out or kick off the remaining loops. So, for example, this loop step 1, it will only do something when we actually are on step 1 with the Strava code, which is exactly what we want. This can be removed. We don't need this. This is an old token I was using. This makes sense as well. So only when authentication step 2 reaches this point is that we're going to continue. Otherwise, we'll bail out again. And this is pretty much a lot of boilerplate. In this case, these actually could be simplified to just a single error. I'm just being pedantic about at which step exactly did this thing fail. But I mean, pragmatically speaking, I don't think that I'm even going to use this. I don't think I'm going to use this at all, to be honest. Just arrange here the windows. Okay, so what else is happening here? This is fine. This is fine. This is fine as well. Okay, so the main view comes here, and you pretty much you just really want a button and display a web view. You don't really need anything else. Honestly, I don't even know how to show this, so I'll have to dig through. Okay, so let's dig through. Nope. This is not what I want. I just want. I want to present modally a web view. SwiftUI. This is fine. Boilerplate. Is it a button? I don't even remember. Okay, title, action. Okay, this is fine. And now oh, I see these shenanigans with the show model true and false. Yes, I remember this. But this has changed, if I'm not mistaken. I think this has changed now. I'll just use. I'll just come here and be done with it. Where is it? Maybe a sheet. Okay, so more shenanigans. Yeah, I think this will do. Was it present? Okay, so button, toggle, connected view. These props. I think this comes from Redux or something. I'm not even sure about this. Which is fine. Movies list, button. So this is the label. Let me try. Okay. No. You have the action, you have the label. Okay, I can go with this. I can go with this as well. I can say label. It's I don't even know. Login with Strava. Let's see if this actually works. Okay, so yeah, this is fine. It is as expected, I guess. Okay, so yep, in the actual action, that action sheet. I don't want an action sheet. What is it, an action sheet? I don't even remember. It's presented. Sheet is presented. Settings form. So what? I just come here and put sheet. Okay. I'm fine with this. Let me just. Login what's presented. False. States. Okay. Content. What is the content? It's presented content. Oh, it needs a view. Okay, so I guess I can put just an empty view and be done with it. Okay. This feels slightly broken, but that's fine. Okay, it doesn't do anything. It's presented. Navigation bar items. Navigation view. Okay, so if I come here and use the settings, where would that be? Settings, is it settings? Settings form. Okay, settings form. More shenanigans. Well, it's not shenanigans, but it is what it is. I just find it just a matter of getting used to it. I just find it, I don't know, sometimes I find it weird, sometimes I find it really nice. It's fine, everything is fine. So I don't want to invest a lot of time on this, so I'll just put a web view or something, and put the body, text. It's working, and then you need that particular bit here, and then actually do anything with this, or just this is too old. This is too old. Too old. Because this thing keeps changing. You have to sort of, I don't know, past a month or so. Yeah. So yes, models. Okay. We're getting somewhere. Okay. So is login presented true, and then cannot be used. Is it this? It's fine. What was missing here? What was missing? Oh wait, that was in the forms. Okay, so environment var. I mean, in theory this should work. Presentation mode. Type annotation missing in pattern. Okay, so base. Okay. This should do it. No. Okay. Okay, that's. Aha. Okay. Using wrapped value instead of value seems to work. Hooray! Nope. Well, maybe. No, a sheet should be fine, I think. A binding to wherever the sheet is presented. Presents a sheet. That makes sense. That makes absolute sense. Okay, so if I do this and I put it to true, in theory. Okay, so we got something out of this. That's fine. Okay, so okay, so what we want from this situation is, I'm not even too worried about I'm not even. That's actually a good question, because the thing is, when you go with auth, like, are you kicked off out of the app? I think you are. So if I go to, I think you're actually kicked out of the app. Okay. Doesn't. It's sort of fine. It's fine for now. Doesn't really matter. So WebView, SwiftUI. I just want to put something in there, be done with it, and then we can sort of start working on this. that's not what I was expecting as a result. What is this shit? Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, it doesn't have a web view. Okay, so is it a Safari view controller? It's not a Safari controller. Okay, let me try. Let me check what I had in my previous projects. I can't even remember. It was. Yeah, it was a CF Safari view controller. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That's what I was using, and now in theory I should try to wrap this up somehow, or oh, this is actually a website to Swift. Because this, I don't know why, man. This just looking so dodgy. I thought they were selling something. Okay, so web view, UK. Aha. Okay. So I probably need to wrap this. If it doesn't exist. If it exists, then it's fine. If not, then I'll probably have to wrap it up. No, this is not what I want. What I want is what I did here. I think I have to log in. I can never remember this stuff. It's fine. Okay. Yeah, this should do it. This should do it. Yep, that's. I mean, I'm probably missing something. There's probably a web view that you can put, but I have no idea where it is. That's fine. I'll do it on my own. So my web view. Let's just stick with this for now. It's fine. My web view, which is UI view representable, and it does things. It will complain. No. I add the rest. UI view type. Does this work even? Is it WK? Yeah, I'm just missing the import. Okay. It's fine. Okay, still complaining, that's fine. Okay, make UI. Okay, update. Okay. I guess you get the URL and you do something with it. I don't even something like that. Okay, and then I'm not sure what to do with this. Oh no, of course I know. It's here. Okay. Okay, so can I just, okay, so there's a context, and the context should have something good. No, nothing good. Screw it. Worker web view dot init. Okay, and this is okay. A sec. What I was getting on the previous one. Okay, okay, so I get URL request. Okay, there's that update UI view. I mean, I'll, I don't know. I mean, I probably just load it again. I don't know. Maybe not. I will see. Doesn't matter. It's fine. We have this. Okay, so we have this. This is fine. Then we need to sort of I mean, there isn't much to do. Like, it's done. It's done. I don't have anything to give here. URL init. I'll just go with this for now. So let's see what comes out of this. I'm pretty sure it's because of the frame. Maybe it's because of the frame. So does the context has the size of it, or size, environment variables, and then do I have a sounds good. Nope. Okay, so let me go with this for now. That should do it. 0, 0, 400, 100, that's fine. Okay. This is even called, or? Okay, so this is called, which is good, I guess. Okay, so if I do, okay, so it actually has the right size. It actually has the right size, so I don't need these shenanigans here. This is actually, okay, so it actually has the right size. So the problem here is it's not loading for some reason. It's really bad when you haven't coded. It's just you have no idea what you're doing, no idea whatsoever. But I mean, it is what it is. Like this should do it. I don't want any of this. Okay, so if I do, I don't know, web view dot background color equals system pink, which is a very legit choice. Okay, so it is it loading something? Alright, so if I put this, I mean, it should do something with this, right? Aha. Okay, so it is working. Okay, so it is working as intended. Okay, so this is fine. This is cool. It is actually, it does something. So I don't think I need the pink, although pink is very nice indeed. I'll probably want maybe a spinner, but for that then I'll have to, I don't know, comply with the delay, because I was looking at the delegates. Ooh, which one? Maybe this. UI delegate. Create. Nope. 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 Is there a did here? Doesn't matter. It should probably have a spinner while it's loading or something like that, because otherwise you just sort of it's a bit jarring. You are here and then you sort of, okay, this is being kept in memory. I'm pretty sure this is kept in memory because I mean, this is being kept in memory. There's no way. Okay, it doesn't matter. So this, okay, so this is working, which is a good thing. And I don't want to spend a tremendous amount of time polishing this, because I'm not even sure if this is the right way. So this is out, this is out. I'm taking this out. Okay, update present okay. Updates the present okay, then screen refer to the latest configuration. Okay, I'll leave this empty for now. It's fine, I guess. What else is happening here? Okay, so this is good. This is good. I don't need this. I probably need, wait a second. I might need this to get that method for free, which I really want to. I really want this thing for free. I really want this. Well, not this, but I really want, what is it? I really want this one for free, because then I could, well, actually this is a web view, so I'm not going to put a cross here or a disclose or anything. So I guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. If it becomes a problem, then I'll figure it out. So okay, so this is all working, but it's still not taking into consideration the state here. And the funny thing is that I don't even know if this works, right? Nothing is unit tested this right now, so I'm not even sure if this is gonna work. Okay, the view model is here, which is okay. Out of curiosity, I actually want to see what is the value here. Just want to see what is the value. Is there a value? Okay, so okay, so it's in the loading state, which is wrong. It should be going from loading to no credentials. So actually this is not working at this point. This is not working. Why it's not working? So I have the state here. Let me just put a couple of those here. So the check and credentials comes in. Storage load. I know why it's not. Working. I think I know why it's not working. I think the problem is here. I'll put another case. User not found. It's as good as anything. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna return this by default. Is there a failure? No. Is it a just init? It's not just. God damn it. The thing is I just wanted to signal producer and then error, and then I'll put the error I wanted, but life is unfair, and as such I need to look at how we actually do this. So I'll just look for this. Way too many deferred empty. Fail. That's what this is. Fail. Need with error. And then I put if I go with corridor dot yeah, so the reason why this is happening is because I made the change. No, actually the change is I made the change on the core error, and core error belongs to different framework, and this hasn't been compiled, and that's why it cannot found the guy, but now he's here. Oh, just can I do this? No. Can I do this? Yes. And we keep going with this dance. If you raise to any publisher. In Strava, it should be loading, but it stays in loading. Jesus Christ. Loading. Okay, so checking credentials. I would still loading, which is a bummer because that's not what it's supposed to do. So the problem might be in the switch. So the state. So does it hit here, or I can actually just put this here just to see what happens here. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So this is a reducer like you'd have in Redux, but it's simply at a very local level. So this belongs to the session view model. This is not at the global state level. It might make sense to put it at the global level because this is actually it does with login and authentication, so it might make sense. I don't know. So if I log in, so it's loading. I mean, does this thing even gets called? I don't think this is even is getting called. Did I pass the reducer? Maybe I didn't. No, it's here. No, it's here. It's there. So it's being. Okay. So this is interesting. The initial state is check credential. Is it check credential or is no? It's check credential definitely. It's check credentials. Then it's empty, but then it doesn't do anything. So storage load. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh. Okay, so actually I hate this. I absolutely hate this. And okay, so okay, let's see if this does something. So it goes here. Okay, so now it's still okay. So check credentials, not authenticated. Okay, and unauthenticated. So okay. So now this is actually working. This is actually doing something. So we got somewhere. I think it would be a good time to actually save a couple of these things. So the first one is this one here. I'd prefer to keep the comments, the commits small. So if you fuck up somewhere, then it's pretty easy to sort of backtrack to what you've done. So this one, for example, I'm not particularly interested in this. I'm going to discard these changes. These were just sort of this is fine, this is fine as well. Okay, this is something else, this something else. Okay, so this one is okay to commit. I mean, I could be extra pedantic about this, as in this by itself is this change only is enough to warrant a commit, because here you're saying, look, I want to read. So for me, the source of truth is in the environment level. It's not at the app delegate level or scene delegate level. So I'm going to use my source of truth is this one. So this single change is worth a comment, a commit by itself. So I'm going to take this out. Okay, so this one is done. Then you have this one here. Okay, so this one is the idea here is looking at what Kickstarter has. Looking at Kickstarter has is pretty much making sure that you're using the right reference. So even though we're at the environment level, even though we're at the environment level, your source of truth continues to be this pass-through subject, right? You probably would never want to create. Actually, if you never want to create if you don't want to ever create your own pass-through subject, you could probably do something like this. This could be fine. The problem is that then you're unable to test this. If you want to test this, for whatever reason you want to test this, then it's probably not the best of your efforts. is happening? Okay, so I'll keep this as is. So now this commit, avoid recreating a different pass-through when creating a new environment. So if I understand their code correctly, what is happening here is that where are the cats fighting? Jesus. So if I understand this correctly, when you log in, pretty much the only thing you do, is you're replacing the environment. The only thing we're going to really change from that old environment is these three things. So if I go to replace current environment, okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of repetition here, which is fine. I guess. I don't think they would need so much stuff. I don't think they are touching all this. Push environment. Push and stack and intersect that changes only a subset of the current. Yeah. Okay. So create an environment. Yeah. And now. Okay. And now this actual change here. I don't need anything here. I can actually reset this. It's fine. The problem here was actually pretty obvious, because you're returning a string or a publisher that completes. You're not actually passing the error, which is really what you want. So why is this having this strange behavior? And I guess for a lot of people that start using Combine, this will be sometimes a problem, or a place where you can have doubts about what's going on. But what is really going on here is this, right? This is what is happening here, because what you want is, when you load the storage, when you do storage load, what you want is, if the load fails, you want this particular part to hit. This is what you want, right? So there's a couple of steps happening here. So first you load, then you refresh, then you save the user. Okay, this sort of seems a legit steps. But if it fails, then you want no authentication. And the thing is, with no authentication, the event no authentication, then you look at the actual reducer, and you can see here that if the current is the credentials and you get an authentication, then you're not authenticated, which is pretty much what then we're able to see, right? So this is where, if we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. Okay, so this is good. I mean, there's a lot of gibberish here, but it's fine. It's fine for now, because at least we got the wrapper done. We got actually, that's a good question. I don't even know if the callback will work from the website. I don't know. Will it work? I do not know. It's fine. We'll figure it out when it comes. Okay. So usually when I'm committing stuff, or the message, I try to see why you did this change, and not how, right? I don't. So actually, these are two different things. So one is this. So right now we're going to do why. So again, going back to that, why are we making these changes, right? Why are we making these changes? And the reason why we're making these changes is because we don't want it to complete, we want it to either succeed or fail. That's what we want, right? We don't want it to complete, otherwise, from a reducer point of view, it won't do anything good. So we want it to actually fail or succeed. So for now, we're just hard coding it to fail. Eventually, when we have a decent place to store user credentials, then we can actually play around with this. But for now, this is fine. This works. Yeah. So this is cool. Okay. So now we have this import WebKits. So this is pretty much yeah, so what we do is, again, going through auth, what we do is you display web view, you put your credentials, you log in. The Safari or whatever web view will call back your app and will pass you the credentials, or not even credentials, will pass you a token. You then send this token to the Strava API, and then you get the actual key that you can use throughout. So yeah, so this is just the beginning for the authentication. This is fine, and yeah, I guess that's it for today. So the next steps here are actually read the state. So right now we're not making use of this at all. Like this is not being used. So the state is changing. The machine seems to be working. I do have tests on the different project. I don't have the tests on this current project. But we're not really doing anything with that state. We just sort of have a static piece of UI that has a button, shows a web view with a hard-coded URL. What we're going to do is, depending on the state that comes, we're actually able to build that URL dynamically. Where do I have that? I cannot find it. So I have the routing. Yeah, it's the routing. Yeah, it's the routing here. This route here. This route from my previous project. So this is actually something different that I'm doing. So the problem here now is that from the previous project, what I had was I had this entity that sort of was observing the view model, and it had a reference to the view, and then would say, okay, something happened, I got an event, I should show something, and you'd actually observe that route and you do something with that. But now you don't have that. So this is where the routes I have. So in this case, when you got to present Strava login, is at the point where it would be like, okay, I have to show something, I have to display something to the user, but you don't have that anymore, right? You don't. So how the hell? How? Yeah, I need to think through this. Actually, on the combine tutorial, actually I mentioned that routing. Yeah, actually I mentioned that that I mean you can go a couple of ways around this. I'm not too sure how it's sort of officially done by Redux. I need to look into that. I have no idea how they're doing. What I was doing was pretty much, again, reference to view controller, observing the view model, something comes, I display something. Ilya actually wrote about that, so it's not this gentleman for sure. Ilya actually wrote about that. Where's his blog? He actually wrote about this here. Yeah, and in sort of this post actually describes how we go about this, which is pretty much like this. So you have this external entity called flow controller. You get your route, which is exactly what I have on the project, which is this entity here, main view model.route. In this case, he has pharmacy list view model.route, and then he handles the route because you actually have a reference to the view controller currently displayed via the flows. So I need to sort of investigate on how am I going to do this using SwiftUI. In this case, on the combine blog post, I describe a couple of things of how to go about this. I have to be honest, I went with a very sort of pragmatic approach on this, sort of just to get things going, but I don't think that I'm going to go that way this time around. I'll probably look into how Thomas did this, mostly because, for example, this I don't know, it's weird for me. Like coming from the architecture we've been using at Babylon, it's very weird for you to, for example, hard code this thing here, right? It's weird because now your movie's home knows that it needs to display a settings form when something happens, and for us it was always a bit awkward because the view itself shouldn't know about anything. It should just know that, hey, you are about to display something. That's it. You don't know what you're gonna display. You have no idea what you're gonna display. Actually, the way we're doing, the view doesn't even know how it's going to be displayed. It doesn't know if it's a navigation. It doesn't know if it's a model. And in this case, where is it? In this case, where is it? Jesus. In this case, it actually knows. It knows that it's going to be a settings form. It knows the what going to be displayed, and it also knows how it's going to be displayed. And we I mean, if you read this blog post, you will see that we really wanted to separate these two things. We wanted to remove them completely from the view, from the presentation layer. So I need to think through how we're going to do this with SwiftUI. And that's it. Thank you.